I stand firmly in the fact that I'm one of the best to ever do this. For the culture, for my coast, and for my city. This is the best rapper in L.A.Podcast. And I'm your host, Murs. What up, though? I rarely start and restart this podcast, but I just did that a couple times. I am more tired than I've ever been in my life. And I never been so busy. I've probably been more tired, but never been more busy. Yeah, so bear with me. This might be all over the place, more all over the place than usual. I'm going to miss out on some points, some very important points. We are covering what I like to consider probably the most important song of my career. People would disagree, but this is what I consider a hit. And probably could have been a hit like as far as the bigger song. Had Warner Brothers and I been able to walk out our full rollout for the album. But we were interrupted by a corporate takeover. In the realest sense, I've never, we've talked about it. Like I left the music industry and moved to Tucson after this record. I was like, wow, if this is how someone can be treated, the president of a major record label who worked his way up from the mailroom, I want no parts of this shit. And a lot of it comes from, just I'm not afraid, but this ended up, me ended up at the end of this on Warner Brothers, shelved. The new regime wasn't willing to work my album, nor were they willing to release me from my contract until I got serious again. And I don't like that side of me. But shit got real again. I had to be like, yo, are y'all playing? Not me. I may look like the one, but I am not the one. Not in my city. That's when the ego and the dum-dum comes out, as my grandmother says. The dum-dum, bro, I was ready to, ooh, Jesus. That really Jesus. And I guess that's what I wanted to open talking about this week. I forgot, but now I remember. I was reading some of the reviews. I don't ever do that, but thank you, Rob, for making me read something like, and Ali, I was looking at Ali and be like, yeah, this is, to me, one of the more, and what I've always tried to be is an honest, or I won't say honest, as complete as possible picture of a black man in America, at least in California, and being authentic and not just, like stoicism, like not the highs and lows, but just the actual, not getting too high on the highs, too lows on the lows. This is life through the lens of a black American, not this is black American life because I'm black American. So a lot of people exaggerate the black part or no one exaggerate. We're all very American, but I think that's why more people relate to me. It's not an emphasis. There are common themes, but it's just through the lens of a black American. Like this song, the Breakup song. It's a lot of breakup, and this is the black version of breakup. But if I do it authentically, anyone who's been through a breakup can relate. So, little insight, just like I think about that side of me, and I'm like, yo, that side of me is always, it's not post-traumatic stress because I'm still living in the environment. The trauma is still very, 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 I don't know. I don't know if I'm still experiencing trauma, but it's like I record here in South Central, as most of y'all know, where my family has been for 70 years. And I still, at all times, have to be ready to get down. As a 46-year-old man, father of 4, husband, the sole provider financially for my family, being down here, just staying here in this city I've had, and having my studio here in South Central, I've had to like walk up on somebody who had a bat threatening me and back him down, and be ready to be hit by a bat. Like, yo, oh, that's what it is. Hey, such and such, I heard you said such and such. Word, and me like knowing like in like combat, like, yo, I gotta get close enough to this motherfucker so he can't swing this and I could grab it. And I'm not ducking his fade because I got to be here every day. I mean, he's not about to like run me up out of my neighborhood, not my neighborhood, but well, it's kind of. Oh yeah, that incident. And then there was another incident, but I had to get physical with some dude writing on the walls in broad daylight. I had to aggressively put my hands on another human being and in a not kind manner, I was not thrilled with that. But for someone who is an entrepreneur and I don't know, it's not much like, yeah, if you're 46 and you're still a bouncer or something, or still working in protective services or something like that, cop or something, maybe you still touch people like that. But there's nothing in my job description that should require me, or my walk of life that should require me to have to do that, other than I still do business and live and commune in the inner city with people of color in America. And I hate that shit. I don't hate a lot of things. I don't know if I hate anything other than that. I hate that is part of the job. So when I say the best rapper in Los Angeles, that's because I'm fucking in Los Angeles, for better or worse. Not with my security guard, not with my gang. I'm by myself, or I'm with my children or my wife, and still having to deal with this shit. Police getting behind me. I'm in a fucking minivan, a fucking hybrid minivan. And I've seen them with my children slow down and having that feeling of fuck. Am I going to have that interaction with the police officer with my 3-4 sons in the back? Could be any number of them at any time. You see me in a minivan. We get side by side at the stoplight. You hold up at the green light to get behind me and run my plates. Are you fucking kidding me? So the other guy with the baseball bat, he was in the wrong. This other guy riding on my family's property, he was in the wrong. This cop is in the wrong. What fucking profile do I fit in a black 2020 minivan? It's not old and janky, maybe a little dirty. You see the fucking buttload of Trader Joe's stickers on the back window, you fuck. I have an 18-month-old. Because we live in a neighborhood of color in Los Angeles, sometimes in the morning, the helicopter is flying over low. Wakes him up. Wakes me up. But, him than me. Because fortunately, I'm used to that shit. Until I get somewhere where there's not a chopper every day. These are the things I think about during the week when I do this podcast, when I read the reviews. Yeah, so I'll continue to give that insight if it's welcomed and it is warranted. But yeah, man, I don't live in fucking Calabasas. I don't live in Woodland Hills. I don't live in fucking Corona, Norco. I live in fucking the Inglewood South Central area, and I work daily or weekly in the Inglewood South Central area. I commute on the 105 and 110. This weekend, I was in Antelope Valley on Friday. Saturday morning, I was in Venice Beach hosting various kids' activities from Culver City to Central Avenue, Imperial, Crenshaw. Family member in the hospital at Cedars. It's been a rough week. But that's why, once again, the best rapper in Los Angeles. All I'm driving myself and my children. That's that. That's life. I don't know if that's what y'all come here for. BC1 was phenomenal. To be able to host that is just like, I've been wanting to host it since over 10 years ago when I first saw the event. And I was like, man, like Rock against this, I want this job. And so I begged and begged and begged, and somebody finally gave me the job. I won't beg, but I asked and asked. Shout out to Two, shout out to J Taj, shout out to Kid David who co-hosted me, shout out to Double O who got me in there, shout out to Paris, Milan. The whole crew, man, Jen, it was a dope event. All the B-boys and B-girls. Got to meet Daru Jones. Oh, man, when we get to Love Rockets One, we'll talk a little bit about that. Justin Hunt, Soundmaster Kayla. There's so many people that I know and love out there. in the community. Shout out to B-Girl Mia Flo. She's somebody, I don't even remember which B-boy convention I met her at, or B-Girl convention, B-breaking convention, but she was a kid. And man, she's nasty now. Ooh, boy. Lily Breeze, Randy Rascal Randy, Hijack from Honolulu made it to the finals. Man, Weapon X from Scottsdale, Ali from Salt Lake City. Man, there's so many dope people. DJ Flag, he had to usually had to get original shit because it's not clear through Rebel. The beats were slapping. Redman opened, one of my favorite rappers, arguably the best 4-album run of any rapper, or one of the best 4-album runs of any rapper, from What the Album, There's a Dark Side, Muddy Waters, to Doc's the Name 2000. Fire. And I like all the rest, but I can't argue those as well. Definitely in the history of Def Jam. So seeing him perform was dope.
Everybody in the back. Let's go. Let's go. How y'all feeling out there? Business bitch, make some noise in this joint, man. Hey, we're gonna take it back on some hip-hop shit, because that's why we here, right? You love hip-hop, make some noise. Let me hear you. Check it out. How y'all feeling up here? Watch how I do this. Check it out. Yo, look at it, man. I'm in a truck with the system round the lane. I keep the fire burning like kerosene. You might ask who am I? I reply to 5-star with the 5 in the garage.
Good weekend still going. Got Ground Waves coming up. For those of you listening, whenever this comes out, I'm going to put a GoFundMe up for the kids from Ground Waves. All of the foundations backed out, but I still got 10 kids. We got our stage cut. We usually have 15 kids. We have 10, I call them kids, but 10 young artists, rappers, MCs, female and male, finding their own way to California from Colorado, Oklahoma, or Arkansas to be a part of Thop Fest this year on October 5th this weekend. Make sure you get tickets. Coast Contra, D12, Crisis, so many other dope people. Hosted by myself, Justin Hunt, I believe Propaganda, and Zane. Our stage is inside the bar. These kids pay their own way just for a 15-minute set in a bar in front of little to no people. That's how much they love the art. It reminds me of how we did it when Hyro was just like, yeah, y'all can open for us on tour, but you just got to get there. So the foundation's backing out. I thought more kids would, be like, oh, I can't make it, but we only had one guy bow out for very understandable reasons. I just did Colorado this last weekend. I don't know if we talked about that, but 19 different artists coming to Colorado from all over the country on their own dime. Not one of them missed their set. It was amazing. Rapping with 3MG was fun. I believe that may be the last 3MG show ever. So those who saw it. But those who hasn't checked out 3 Melancholy Gypsies, our new song, check it out. We're going to be dropping songs every 2 to 3 weeks for the next month or so, half or so.
Never been one to run from a rumble. Hotter than fish squeeze, holy and humble. Juggernaut giant, king of the jungle. Towers of Babylon, watching them crumble. Melancholy, malevolent smile. Dealing with the deeds of a devilish child. Head of the pack, bred in the wild. Hit them all up with a hell of a style. 3MG with a team with a dream, and it seems the fiends of the scene would agree. Scaring me and E with belief on the beat. With the heat, what you think it would be. Better watch how you speak to me. Up in the bubble so we can see. That's this comic relief to me. Never switching up my frequency. I've been here since the years of curly tops and khaki slacks. Doper than them opiates I kept up in my backpack. Analog, baby, but my currency is currently crypto and flip those in case of an emergency. The world is a mess, it's burdened with stress. They asking for more, but giving us less. Keep some on the floor, and some to invest. Roll with the rebels, ain't never gonna settle. Put pedal to the metal, the devil don't rest. The year was 1990.
But yeah, Redman was dope. And speaking of Redman, there's Newark, and one of the dopest groups that are in Newark is the Artifacts. One of the dopest songs the Artifacts ever did was Come On With the Come On. Come On With the Get Down, remixed by Buck Wild.
Continue to deliver blows. Bust the rhymes, bringing body blows. Yes, when I get busy down at my toes. Yeah, got you breathing hard through your nose. Watch me drop you in your face with more lyrics. I love to get down, but stay away from me with them bad spirits. You better believe you're fucking with the pros. Strike a pose, got your body froze. Hey, sit back, relax and match with the Artifacts. Never faking jacks, blacks, vocals bleeding through the entire multi-track. Forever I strive to lead.
Busta Rhymes verse on there is fucking killer, bro. This is before we had a Busta Rhymes solo album, so we savored every fucking verse he did. Man. But that beat was one of the first. I wasn't really a beat person. That's when beat is one of the first beats I fell in love with. Like, I loved Primo, but I didn't like, I wasn't like, I want to rap over Primo beats yet. It got there. But Buck Wild, I love that they called it the Buck Wild remix, so I could be like, I'm a fan. So this is one of the sessions for Murs For President that didn't go anywhere, but man, I got to go to the Bronx and sit in Buck Wild's studio and record and write. And a lot of these sessions I did, like, I would weird dudes out. And so the song I did with him was, I just heard the beat. Like, I had to do what the beat says to me, period. Buck Wild also did Time's Up, the original Stress, 13, Why, Get It Together remix, Buck Wild remix. That's what he said, Buck Wild remix. He did the original Come On With The Get Down and remix. All of that by Brand Nubian.
Don't stop, come on, come on, come on, yes, yes, yes. Don't stop, come on, come on, come on, yes, yes, yes. Don't stop, come on, come on, come on.
That was the first beat that was so dope that I had to look at the liner notes to see who did it. Lots of shit for Big L. Mad Ism remix. I Like It remix, Rampuba.
Ladies and gentlemen, I found it. I want you to meet the baddest motherfucker in town. Right on, right on.
Funk Dubious Rock On remix. Damn remix, Alcoholics, bro. When I tell you that this is one of the premier Mystidious Misfits, if you guys missed that group, one of the dopest groups that never came out, Mystidious Misfits.
Stations. I smoke blunts for self to learn the plan to rule the nation. Who's the dizzy MC? Don't want to copycat. Rather my name, you have no fame, no type of fame.
Showbiz and AG shit. Man, I believe he did Story to Tell by Big too, if I'm not mistaken.
Check it out. Check it out. This here goes out to all the niggas that be fucking mad bitches in other niggas' cribs. Thinking shit is sweet. Niggas creep up on your ass. Live niggas respect it. Check it. I kick flows for ya. Kick down doors for ya. Even left all my motherfucking hoes for ya.
Lucky me, Jay-Z. I'm gonna just keep going, y'all. Why stop? I'm that much of a fan. Like, all these records I named, I have. Whoa, Black Rob. I think he's just an unsung hero as far as the hip-hop producers go. He's not unsung, he's just not sung loud enough. So, sitting in his studio, he gave me a beat and I wanted to tell a story because he did got a story to tell. Duh. I was looking at the plaques and I wrote a story about a houseless person. And he thought it was dope, and he would follow up with me like, is that record going back? I don't know, like, he just wanted the placement, but he didn't need the placement. He's a fucking legend. Like, genuinely, he's somebody I've seen genuinely over the years. We always wanted to work together, and I'm so sorry that I never worked out. But he is a legend. So that's one of the stories. I just want to sing his praises. I liked last week's episode because there was a lot of music, different music, a chance to play different music and celebrate people that aren't, to me, like I said, celebrated enough. this is part of like where I am in my journey. Again, like all this happened. I was a kid who just loved records. And when I say like nobody, like very few people believed in me. Even the people that helped me didn't think I would be what I became. And like living out that dream, like I'm sitting in the studio with Buck Wild and he wants to work with me and I want to work with him. In the Bronx, the birthplace of hip hop. I'm back in the Bronx after being a kid on a train who bought his own ticket on Tower Air in 1997 to go to Rocksteady Park. And the sound goes out and I get to freestyle in front of Supernatural and Most Def. And it take the piss out of KRS-One, that's Australian, talk shit about KRS-One doing a Sprite commercial and a freestyle acapella at Rock, bro.
South Bronx, the South Bronx, South Bronx, the South Bronx, South Bronx, the South Bronx, South Bronx, the South Bronx.
Now I'm back 11 years later, probably 10 years later, because it was 2007. Sitting in the studio with Buck Wild, man, that's the shit that means shit to me. Fuck the money, fuck all that shit. As I mentor these kids, like when they make these trips, I'm like, yeah, coming to Colorado, getting some fucking free shrooms, we're doing a 15-minute set, meeting somebody else that raps from Arkansas and fucking a graffiti writer from fucking Omaha and like going to get Chiba Hut afterwards is the shit that fucking counts if you really are doing it for the right reason. That's the shit that hopefully you get to laugh about and remember in the end. Done. And seen. This song, if you've heard it, is something that's about a breakup. A breakup that kept happening. I don't know too many songs about like that. It's a breakup song like Looking at the Front Door. That was the first hip hop album I bought where motherfuckers was really rapping. Like Fat Boys is more pop. Kid and Play was definitely pop. Like the LL Cool J is more mainstream pop, I would say, with the utmost respect. But when I bought Main Source, just because I read about it in the source, my cousin, who's like an auntie, and her boyfriend at the time, like he was a Portuguese dude. She's a black woman from Ladera Heights. They just took me around to Gorky's Park, which is like a brewery. This is like early 90s. And used to be on, I believe, on Cahuenga. And there was a newsstand on Cahuenga. And I was a fucking nerdy ass kid. And I'm like, oh, we're in a place where there's live music and people are drinking beer. And I'm with, they're probably in their late 20s, taking me out so my mom could do whatever, God knows what. And, like also like my uncle, I would get, not used, but, rent a kid so that you can see if the girl you're dating or the dude you're dating is somebody you want to raise kids with. So it's like culture shock for me, like being around, like my cousin is dating a non-black person, mind blown. And then being in this environment in Hollywood at night. Whoa. So they let me go across the street. I just want to go to the newsstand. I love comic books. I love magazines. BMX magazines is all I'm into at the time. Like I did Right On and Black Beat and Yo, those magazines, but they had started not appealing to me because my taste in rap was like evolving. There was NWA out there. I couldn't buy it. There was Too Short out there. Like they're kind of in those magazines, but when they're in those magazines, they're not really saying shit. I can read now. I have intellect that's developing that needs to be nurtured. I see this magazine with Ice-T on the cover from New Jack Hustler, and it's like The Source, hip hop, culture, and politics. What? Motherfucker. Give that here. In this magazine, I believe Main Source got reviews. First time I see the mic system. They buy it for me. My prized possession. From that moment on, I think it's 92, 91, I have a Source magazine in my back pocket on my person for years. I would say up until 2000, the early aughts, late aughts. Religiously, I never missed a fucking issue. Never. With Ditch School, there was a fucking newsstand by my school. If they didn't have the new Source and it was out, I would get back on the Blue Bus. Funny enough, I just drove my son by the newsstand and go back north on Robertson to Robertson and Pico to see if they had it. If they didn't have it there, I would spend the rest of the day like pissed. Like knowing that issue was out and I didn't have it. I had to have it first. So it was a challenge, but like that's what makes it sweeter when you attain that. But I saw a main source in there, Breaking Atoms. The name, like it's scientific. Like I'm in the comic book, Breaking Atoms. Who the fuck? Names are out because they were gonna blow up. But I didn't even get that metaphor at the time. I was like, Breaking Atoms? Main source? Like, how much more fucking comic booky do you get than that to me? I think Extra P had on glasses. I'm like, yo, I got dreads, glasses, Breaking Atoms, main source. The Source magazine said this is a 4 or 4.5 mic album. I read the review. I gotta have this. And I hear looking at the front door. And the beat slaps. I got this beat from Notch. It was on a beat CD or beat tape. I picked it. Had Anthony Hamilton, I don't say one of the last, but like they're D'Angelo and Anthony Hamilton, like soul singer Raphael Sadiq. Soul singers where you can hear the dirt, the pain. A good friend of mine that is a jazz musician. I've seen him kick people off a stage and be like, nah, you don't have enough pain. We're about to play the blues. Y'all can't play the blues. He was basically like, no white boys on stage. None of y'all know the pain except for you. Because you just got divorced and you got a baby mama now. I think it was a drummer that was white. It was in good fun.
In the first place, white people got no business playing the blues ever, at all, under any circumstances. Ever. What the fuck do white people have to be blue about? Banana Republic ran out of khakis? Huh? The espresso machine is jammed? Hootie and the Blowfish are breaking up? Shit, white people ought to understand their job is to give people the blues, not to get them. And certainly not to sing or play them. Tell you a little secret about the blues. It's not enough to know which notes to play. You gotta know why they need to be played.
It could be divine. It could be just me being tired. But somehow at 20 minutes or so, it erased the whole rest of the 60-minute episode. The Breakup has been one of the most important songs, if I could say, probably the most important song in my career. Everybody's my favorite. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's a linchpin, so to speak, in the whole thing that I've built over the years, or one of the pillars. How about that? One of the pillars of the structure that is my career. I went real deep, and maybe all that's not supposed to be out there is divine, or maybe I'm just worn out. I got a flight in the morning, but I wanted y'all to have something. I don't like not delivering. So here we go, and maybe this is something y'all have to read in the book later on.
I hate you, you hate me, but still can't escape. We and all the bullshit we've been going through lately. Heartbroke, love struck, telling y'all it ain't me. Life without you, girl, is something that I can't see. I ain't gon' lie, say I don't get lonely, but it's only so much I can kick it with the homies. And somebody told me you already moved on. I broke up with you, you ain't supposed to get your groove on. Not now, at least wait a couple weeks. Got me looking like a chump with my business in the streets. Been a couple weeks, but it feel like you still there. No matter how I clean, I'm still finding your hair or some shit you forgot. Or I'm standing in that spot where you came so hard I didn't think that you would stop. But quiet as it's kept, I know you miss me just a little. Wash the sheets when you left, but still smell you on my pillow. And everything I do, it reminds me of you. And everything I see, it reminds me of we. And every time I lust, it reminds me of us. Girl, I wanna stay together cause I hate breaking up. Every everything I do, it reminds me of you. And everything I see, it reminds me of we. And every time I lust, it reminds me of us. Girl, I wanna stay together cause I hate breaking up. You didn't call me last night, what you trying to be strong? Or call yourself stupid when you finally hear this song? Cause I would've took you back, I was waiting to in fact. All you had to do was holler, girl, I would've just collapsed and fell into a trap and started to relapse. And your ass never called, so it just never happened. Now I'm thinking Jasmine, Tanya, Shireen, some exes I could call that'll probably ease the pain. I try to follow through, but I wind up calling you. Hanging up before a ring, girl, it's really all on you. But you wanna get into it, make me mad, push my buttons. Got us tripping over little stuff that don't mean nothing. I was sick of the suffering, the fighting, the fussing. What happened to the love and the late night discussions about children and family, the future, the planning? Now it's all over cause you couldn't understand me. And everything I do, it reminds me of you. And everything I see, it reminds me of we. And every time I lust, it reminds me of us. Girl, I wanna stay together cause I hate breaking up. Everything I do, it reminds me of you. And everything I see, it reminds me of we. And every time I lust, it reminds me of us. Girl, I wanna stay together cause I hate breaking up. Started missing you again last night, till I remembered all the reasons that your ass loved to fight. It's like, dude, I really wanted this to work, but you gotta get your shit together first. And what's worse, I really wanted you to stay, but I needed you to leave cause we was fighting every day. Alright, not every day, I know that that's a lot on it. We was supposed to be companions, we was more like opponents. Don't this song make you wanna do it one more time? Could I still be the only dude that's on your mind? I'm too proud to beg, but I'm hoping that you not. I would take you back quick, girl, without a second thought. But I'm caught up in my pride and I can't make the call. Didn't wanna break up, just to break, that's all. It's been a long time, I know I probably shouldn't have left you, cause you're the only woman that I wanna sleep next to. And everything I do, it reminds me of you. And everything I see, it reminds me of we. And every time I lust, it reminds me of us. Girl, I wanna stay together cause I hate breaking up. Everything I do, it reminds me of you. And everything I see, it reminds me of we. And every time I lust, it reminds me of us. Girl, I wanna stay together cause I hate breaking up. You say you sick of me and I say I'm sick of you, but we crazy about each other, girl, what we gon' do? Said I needed you to leave, but I hate to see you go. Can't make up my mind, girl, I just don't know. I wanna make this work, but I'm sick of the struggle, girl. What I gotta do to make you realize I love you? I ain't gon' lie, sometimes I just don't feel you, but find another man and I just might kill you.